Good day, guys. This is Football Talk with AP, and today I'm having one of an important person in our grassroots level in our vicinity, the grassroots coach. And if you've heard of a certain Elijah Odede, this is his coach at grassroots level. You're welcome, Coach Gabby.
It's my pleasure to be here.
You're welcome. It's good to see you. And how's everything?
Very fine, very fine.
Yeah. So me and my guys, they are not here. They will soon be here. We've been talking about grassroots level. We always want to focus on this level because to us this is a level that is very important. What do you think about that statement?
The most important thing at this level is that if you don't do it the right way, you cannot get the right result. That is the first thing. That is why FIFA, the body that governs football in the whole world, creates a pathway and lay a lot of emphasis on grassroots football development across the globe. And Ogbomoso is not an exception. So anywhere we find ourselves, we should understand two things: the stars of the games and the futures of the game. We can never have the stars of the game without developing the futures of the game. So the grassroots football is the bedrock, is the most important level of football in the world. Because the like of Cristiano Ronaldo you see today, they started from somewhere. And if they are not exposed to quality football education at the grassroots, it's garbage in, garbage out. It's what you give in, that's what you get out. There is no rocket science about this thing. If you don't have a good platform for your players at the grassroots level, you can never create anything at the top. So FIFA said at the grassroots level, winning is not important. I think we are deviating away from the most important thing at the grassroots level. It should not be focused on winning. It's about development.
I think what you say now is it's one of, not even one of, is the most important talk that we should always preach at this level. Because I've really looked deep to some of the issues that I believe we are having. And I think it's more of a mentality issue. Because, like you said, winning is not everything. But I don't believe at this level, in our vicinity, and even not this vicinity, if you want to be sincere, coaches does not even think about anything development. They just want to win.
The issue is that I don't believe that everybody is a coach. That is the first thing. And the most important thing is that there is one between training and development. Two different words. Anybody can train, but not everybody can develop. So we need more of personality that can develop at this level, not a personality that can train. If you focus on training, the most important thing is winning. You want to win. We are bringing what is happening at the elite level to the grassroots. At the elite level of football is about 3 points. You have to win. Result is result. But here is about development. How can a player move from a particular stage to the next phase of the game? That's why I always talk about the technical ability, the tactical aspect, the game understanding, the mentality, the physical development. These are it's just like you have a kid. They have to move from a particular class to another one. When you go to places, I said the greatest level of exposure in life is traveling. And when you travel a lot, when you expose yourself, when you get educated, you refine your understanding. You see that a lot of things that has been done across Africa, even I don't want to mention some European countries, but in Africa generally, we are deviating from the main focus that is expected of us.
You mean Africa's continent?
Exactly. By the grace of God, I've been privileged to be at AFCON. I've been to Africa. I've been to several African countries. So with that, I see that the major thing, we are not doing it the right way. And the issue that led to that is we have a lot of plethora of issues that leads to that. You cannot give what you don't have. I always tell coaches, it is your quality of football education that you will instill in a player. We've seen a lot of coaches that they play a particular set of style in training. When they get to match because of pressure, and they will start doing another thing. And even they will then, don't do that. The best way to develop a player is to allow them make that mistake, correct them, return back to training section and give them what? When a player feel comfortable that even if I make a mistake, constructively my coach will what? Train. That's the essence of this level of development. That's why I said not all coaches can develop, but most coaches can train. So there is a two different paths. A lot of, even if somebody who doesn't call himself a coach can come out and gather boys and train them. But the truth is, can you take them from a particular level to another level? Let me give you an instance. Most of the time when we want to train how to score, or maybe you notice a particular outside right or outside level is not tracking back. What will coaches start saying? They start shouting. Move back, move back, move back, follow back. But the right thing to do is that design a training program that will actually solve that what? Solve that problem. If you find a winger that doesn't want to track back, in training section, you can use him as a right back. The system will force you to mark. The system will force you to what? To make sure that you have to bring life into the game. You cannot just attack and don't want to defend. And apart from it, I always say, particular countries in Europe presently, if a player goes for a trial over there, believe me, they are not going to even introduce you to all these scrimmage or two aside. You won't play it. Just from your technical ability, you know that you are a good. Because if you are not sharp, if your technical ability is not good, the things, what are you doing at the technical level? You can't. So majorly at the grassroots level, what people focus on is the statical aspect of the game, the formation, they want to play. Is good. But the main important thing is development of these boys. Can you take them from a particular level to the next level? And when we do that, we see the right thing.
You said something about not everybody is a coach. So let me just ask, who is a coach?
A coach is somebody who has the understanding of the game and can instill the understanding, the game understanding into a particular.
Like you yourself, you understand the game, how football is to you.
Exactly.
Then you have the ability of putting it on the very, very, very good. So the last time we talked with my guys, I kind of asked them a question. Who should we really blame? Even though if they are here today, I would have want us to focus on the solutions. But no, you are a different person. This is a new talk with you. I want to ask you the same question. Who do you think we should blame with the problem we are facing in grassroots level?
I would say it's a systemic problem, and it doesn't start in a day. That is just the truth. And I always say this particular saying, like, it is better to have it and don't need it than to need it and don't have it. The truth is that we are focusing on the ultimate prize, but we don't focus on the process.
Just want to win.
We just want to win, but we don't want to focus on
the process. The trophies.
We don't want to. We want to win the trophies. We want to be at the highest level. We want, at the name of a particular academy or clubs, to be the talk of the town. But the question is, do you want? That's why I said intention is important, and levels. Two major things: intention and level. Why do you coach? Why are you coaching? What is your target audience? Who do you want to develop? Setting out as a coach, my major ambition in life is not to win trophy at this level. It's to produce players that can go to the next stage. That's why I have a popular saying when I started the academy that I said, someday, from these dusty pitches, we will produce a player that will play in the top 5 league in the world. It may be slow, but it is sure. So the problem is a systemic problem. And what is most important thing is that I will put the bulk of the blame on the coaches.
Okay.
Because the reason why I said we coaches is that no matter what happens to the players, it's just like you having a guardian in school. When I say it's a systemic problem, the coach have their part. We coaches, I'm not excluding myself. We coaches, we have a fault. The parent have a fault. I always tell people, no parent will take his son or his daughter to a particular school that he knows that the teachers are not well to. They don't have the understanding, or they don't understand what they are trying to instill in the kid. Nobody will do that. Then the question is, why do you trust our kids with people who doesn't have the understanding of the game? So the parent has a fault. I can't grow up tomorrow and have my kids tomorrow and say I want to just put my kid in a random
boys club.
I can't. I can't. And secondly is that what I say our coaches, we coaches, is that it's not about having the certification enough. We still have coaches that have gone to school, developed themselves, but the question is, the mentality is a major problem. Is a major problem. So we coaches, we have to be blamed for this thing, and also the parents, because without the kid, without the child, without the coaches, we cannot produce any star. Even the lack of Lionel Messi you see today, somebody gave birth to them. And also when you see Lionel Messi, he trained under somebody before Joseph Coleman. Coleman, this man that scouted him years ago and brought him to Barcelona La Masia Academy. So the major problem we're having is, one, the coaching education at this level. You cannot give what you don't have. And it all boils down to the training sections we design.
That's even what I want to ask next. How important is training to a player development at grassroots level?
You can't take that away. You can't take that. If we raise a...
Because Gabby, I can literally tell you, in our vicinity here, I was a chairman of the association for 2 years, and at times they don't know. I would just kind of walk out from my house and trying to go to different location of where this football team use, and sometimes around 5:30, and they are not even training.
That's why I say it's about intentions and level. Why are you coaching? If you don't lead by example, there is nothing you want to do. Okay, now you see a coach coming to training section by 5:30 to 6. The question is, what message are you preaching to the kids? You are
So
taking that.
how important is the training section?
We can't take that away. We can't take that away. Talent is common. We can see it everywhere. But what we prove, what we develop that talent is through quality training, not generic training. I always tell my boys, general training produces general players. Specific training produces specific players. And under that specific training, that's where the quality of training comes to play. How many coaches are preparing before training section at this level? That's why I said levels and intentions are important. You can't keep doing the same thing the same way and you expect a different result. Why would you stick to your ideology? There are things that we should not be doing at this level. Scrimmage should not be even part of what we should be doing. 11v11 for what? When you can be doing SSG, small-sided game. A lot of things can be learned in Rondo. Some players at this level, if you tell them, do they know the difference between a diamond and a triangle? They will be lost. These are basic things that when you go out to the world, they expect you as a grassroots level to understand some basic terms of the game.
Those things are basic, just basic. It's something you should already know.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and apart from that, training it's just like you're a student in school. You want to be a first class student, you don't want to read. It's not going to work. Why should we develop players that want to play but they don't want to train? And that's why I say we coaches. You see we coaches on match day, some, because I will never do that. Why would I go and bring a player from somewhere because I want to play? I won't do that. You see players that train. We are the one killing the training culture. When you see some set of players that train and on match day you don't play them, and you depend on players from another set of places to come and play that same match, you are telling them that training is not important. That's why I said intention is important and level. Two major things: intention. A coach must understand his level in the coaching pyramid. The second thing is intention. Why are you coaching? Do you want to win at all costs? What is the body language when your players are not? There is something that comes at the grassroots level. When a team is losing, the next approach is that long ball. It's always very difficult to see spaces, create chances with those long, especially when you are playing against a tall defenders. You are just giving them up an opportunity to be the stars of the game. They will keep nodding the ball and returning the ball back to you. The question is, during losing and winning, can we stick to our philosophy? That's why I said development is most important thing. Something happened years ago when I started coaching. I think my team plays against your team. I can't forget. We lost the game 4-0. That was the first exposure I would give to my boys after just gandering them. And after the first goal, the second goal, I keep telling the boys, you have to start the ball. The fans were shouting, what are you doing? No, at the end of the day, we lost the game. But the confidence level increased. That is why anywhere they go, they will always see that mentality in the boys. You have to put the ball on the ground. Because even if you check the development of football in the world now, it is becoming more robotic. A lot of changes are going into the game. The PPDA, the press, the how to press, a lot of things. So if you don't,
everybody is being programmed now.
Exactly.
Now, I kind of have this specific issue. I want you to look into it. What are we going to say about, for example, now my team? We do train. There is no way you are not going to train and you are playing for me. There is no way. Even aside my personal team, I've worked with a university before. I've worked with one academy before, and there is one thing you will always mention when you mention our name, and that is training. You will train. But what are you now going to say about it? Because recently something happened. Hearing words like they train but they don't win. Words like that. They train but they don't win. Though nothing anybody wants to say gets to me. I don't care. Because when we play matches, I don't basically look into do we win or do we lose. Do we perform? My players understand that. Do we perform? And I always believe if you perform well, you will win. So sometimes performance, I will know we did not do well. And sometimes there are some situations we can't control. For example, the pitches and at times the referee. So what can you say about people saying things like that? I don't know if it has happened to you before.
There are some problems that we can't take away from the grassroots, like infrastructure. That boils down to the quality of pitches. And this is not only Nigeria. Go to African countries. Most kids train on dusty pitches.
At this level, yeah.
At this level. There are things you can't take away. Referees. Apart from the Adamic nature of everybody, they are bound to make mistakes. I'm not supporting errors, but the truth is, we can't be on the same page at the same time. There are some things we can't control. Even with VAR, we still have a lot of errors. So at the grassroots level, we must not train our players to focus on what we can control. We should focus on what we can control. We can control our performance. Are we moving from a particular class, from a particular level to another level? Now, the whole ideology, that's why I said the mentality of an average boys club or an average club at the grassroots level in Africa is to win. They want to win trophies. That is why you see a La Masia U16 or U17. They have to imbibe something happened recently. I was studying what happens in the North Africans. The Ali, the wider Casablanca. Why are they doing well on the continent? Why is Mamelodi Sundowns doing well in African Champions League? It is not a rocket science. They don't just arrive there by chance. It's a process. So the environment has crystallized us to believe that if you don't win, your team is not good, which is wrong. So if we lose based on poor performance, a coach at the grassroots must know that yes, the way is not. I always tell boys, I always tell players, if we lose because our character and performance is not good, we should admit that. But if we play well and we lost the game, fine, we move on to the next. But the environment has made us think that if you are not winning, you see some players moving from a particular team A to team B because a team is winning trophy and a team is not winning trophy. So at this level, I will never allow or make players to focus on things that they can't control. There are things we can't control.
You kept leading me to the next topic. You kept leading to the next question. You talk about transfer at grassroots level. What do you think about it?
I'm not a fan of it, and I will never support it.
Okay.
The question is, why? One of the major problems we're having recently is that it's not only in our town; it's everywhere. The truth of the matter is, when a player knows that the fastest way to develop a player is to give them a platform for them. I'm not meaning competition, but for them to grow on the right environment. If a player doesn't have a quality playing time now, the next thing is that I want to go to another team. Players that doesn't want to train and they have the mindset that someday they want to go pro, it's not going to happen. That's why at Castle Football Academy or anywhere, I always say something. I would never preach hope to any player. We don't sell hope. If you are selling hope to a player, someday you go better, someday you go become a professional level. You are just deceiving these boys. You have to create a pathway. So the most important thing at this level is that transfer. Okay, now do you want to sell your player for how much? How much do you want to sell your player for?
10,000. Yeah.
10,000? No.
This video is sponsored by Bamo Clothings and 6Fitters. 6Fitters is a very good tailor. You wouldn't want me to call him a fashion designer. He's a old-fashioned guy that understands the beauty of sewing clothes for you, and he will sew it exactly the way you want it. And Bamo is a clothes vendor, very good. We don't disappoint, and that's a fact. So please always help us get to them. You will never be disappointed when you work with these guys. Thank you, guys.
Personally, on my own view, I don't support transfer. But I can aside if a player wants to move from team A to another places to go and train under the better coach, he can go. But I will never support transfer. I will never support transfer from what to what. And what actually empowers transfer of player movement at the grassroots level is that when we have too many clubs, when they don't get a playing time, or when they run away from training, they feel like I can go to team B where they don't train, and they will accept me.
In fact, that has occurred before. One of my players, is a very funny guy. He kind of put it on his status one day. I want to leave Zenith. The training is too much. And then one of the players from a team that I consider to be a big team in terms of the trophies they've won, messaged him and was like, "Come to our team. You will not even train and you'll be playing very well." So I was like, what's that? To the glory of God, that guy is not even in Nigeria. He's in Turkey presently. And I felt, okay, what if he had moved to that place and did not train? Will he have the chance that he later get?
The truth is that maybe I have this opinion about football at this level. the truth of the matter is, no grassroots player that doesn't want to work hard in training should have the dream that someday he will be at the professional. It's not.
That's where it starts from. You must train.
He's not going to work.
That's where it starts from. Somebody said that it's better to prepare and you don't have the opportunity than to have the opportunity and you're not prepared. And I believe in that thing too.
It's right.
You, at least, even if there is hope or there is no hope, train. Be ready for a chance. What do you think?
At this level, when you develop yourself as a player, when opportunity comes, you will not fidget. Let me be honest with you. I can say it, 98% of grassroots players in Nigeria, they cannot play in U19 in Europe. They cannot. They can't even compete. You know, there is a way they will organize a technical training section for you. And it will be obvious that you are the only one making mistake. But when you are used to a particular system, before you travel, you should come to a point that why do a lot of grassroots players face trials abroad? That's a topic for that. That's another topic for discussion. But the most important thing is that if you don't train, even if opportunity comes, you will blow it away. No two ways about it. But if we keep encouraging the culture of players having playing minutes, having time, having game time, and not training, we will create a player that someday when opportunity comes, they will disappoint us.
You're not able to get it.
They will disappoint us. Even a player that is training, travel for trial and fail compared to one that is not training. And when you check the world today in Africa, the same dream that you are chasing, millions of people are chasing that same dream. And I always have this popular saying, the day you refuse to train or develop yourself, somebody somewhere is doing times 3 times 4 of what you should do. And the day that opportunity presents itself, the two of you will get your report card. And when you get your report card, you know, we should limit the way we pray in Africa, especially when it comes to grassroots football. There are things that prayer cannot solve. The question is, are you doing the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? Do you accept responsibility? If you don't train, there's only reason when you train and you go for opportunity, it will become a learning curve. Like, okay, what did I do wrong? You know, the worst scenario in life is to find yourself in a situation whereby you get to the place of opportunity, and the only thing that will knock you off is that you know truly that you don't prepare. And at that point, you know that you'll not be blaming it on village people. No. If you are well prepared, that's why Abraham Lincoln says, when opportunity meets preparation, luck is born. So what people call luck, when you say this guy is lucky, I don't always believe in luck. It does not exist in my own dictionary. When you prepare and opportunity comes, the grace of God will now water what you have done. But the question is, are you fully ready for the opportunity? So the most important is when we develop our player, that's why I said it's not training now. It's not that we train now. When we develop our player, I always tell Daddy Elijah when he was around, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. When you have such a player that they are ready for this particular, that's why I said intention is important. Why do we coach? If you are coaching to have a player that wants to win tournament, your focus is either they train or they don't train. Result.
Just come around.
Result.
Make sure you win.
Result. Recently, was it last year? There is a particular man. He worked with the RB Salzburg in Austria. He now called a coach. Do you have a player that is similar to that has a profile of? I told him straight up. Presently, we don't have such a player. We have some players that are at 60%, 70%. When you have a player that can actually perform what the market demands, and you develop a player to that level, when the opportunity comes, as a coach, you will do your chest like this, that no, wherever this one go, it will make me proud. But the question is, do we have, I always tell players at the grassroots level now, the days of there is no opportunity have gone. The question is, are you fit enough for the opportunity on ground? Now, there is a particular 4 metrics for any winger anywhere in the world now. If you don't have all these 4 metrics, you cannot go anywhere. In this modern day football, speed, space recognition, tactical understanding. Do you understand the game? When should I go wide? When should I tugging? When you don't have all these basic things, you just say, I go for try, they didn't pick you. Who will pick you? So that's why I said, at this level, the essence is development. When you develop, how many coaches will come to training and say, okay, player A, I noticed that you're in the last 3 games, you are not arriving in the third half. What is happening? Should we have to work on your movement? How do you receive the ball? The speed of intensity of the game, the mentality. Are you at the when a player complain that they don't receive ball, it's a lie. If you are at the right place at the right time, you will get the ball.
Keep moving.
You will get the ball. You will get the ball. So the most important thing, that's why I said you cannot give what you don't have. Once you have the understanding of the game, and the most important thing as a coach, you have to be the student of the game. The more you learn, the more you discover that you don't know anything. I've been humble in a lot of seminars that when I go there, I'll be like, I have to keep learning. I have to keep learning. And every time it's because of an addition. You know, there are some training sections that it is too predictable. Even players know that our coach does not prepare for this training section. It happens. They know that old school this. And the more you learn, the better you become as a coach. So most important thing is that development supersedes training.
Lastly, what do you think should be the solution? Especially, if I really look into your emphasis, it is basically on coaching, which I think it's when we are talking about developing a player, coaching is very, very important. So, what do you think is the solution to that problem? Because to me, it's a big problem.
It is.
Everybody enter. Doki said something, and Favor, the last time we did our show, Doki was like, almost everybody in this country see food in everything. So where you should see opportunity, you just see food. Where you should help people, you see food. That's why even a coach that doesn't have connection will be like, I can connect you to Beyond Limit. Just pay 50,000 naira, of which you don't even get anything. So what do you think is the solution?
We can only propose things that can be done. But the major problem in our environment is implementation. No matter what you say today, if people don't change the ideology, it won't work. That is why I said system can change anybody. If you come into this room now and they say you that this is the particular, there are some schools that they have a particular dress code. You dare not go against the dress code. They will boot you out. My secondary school, my alma mater, if you come to school after 7:30, they will lock the gate. Even if you are the kid of the president, you will not be in school that day. You have to go. So the first solution we have to add is what? We have to reorientate our people.
Is everybody even fit to be a coach?
No.
Should everybody coach?
No. That's why I say intention is important. Why should I be a coach? Not everybody is a coach. By the grace of God today, I have 2 master's degrees. But I discovered that what will give me the greatest achievement or fulfillment in life.
That's your passion.
That's my passion. That's why I choose this path. I never choose this path by accident. It is intentional. This is what I want. This is the path I want to be. I didn't choose something because coaching is lucrative. It's about intention. When you check our run, because growing up, my parents wanted me to become a doctor. That's why they will call me doctor. I wanted to play football. I should be part of the pioneer of the KFA in Ilorin. But my parents said, no, you have to go to school, which I'm happy. Education is important. And when you combine education with passion, the results will be binary. It's just a matter of time. So at this level, the first thing we have to do is that we have to orientate our people. Change of mindset. When you change their mindset and people begin to see things the different way, people begin to see, are we doing this the right way? And I always tell people, if you're on the wrong direction, speed is not an advantage. If you're on the wrong lane, speed is not an advantage. So the first solution is to what? Orientation. We have to sit our people down. This is the right path to follow. And this thing cannot happen in a day. It will never happen in a day. That's why I said it's a process. So after that, we've reoriented our people that no, this is the right way to go. And everybody cannot believe in your philosophy, believe me or not. Not everybody would say, this is the right path. Even if they know that this is right, some people still not follow that path. So the first solution is that what? We have to change the mindset, the mentality. Know that if you are a coach at this level, the focus should be on development, not winning at all costs. When we have that foundation, we can now begin to build other things. Now, once we have our change of mindset, the next thing is to what? Investment in knowledge. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. If you develop yourself as a coach, there are things that even when you get to training section, I always tell people that players don't go to training. They have reasons why not. When you give players reason to come training, they will come. When you give a player a reason to come for training, they will surely come. But when they know that
it's because to play a match,
just go play a match, well, what are we learning? What are we learning? That's why you should not be selling hope to players. So at this level, there are things that we can control at this level. Change of mindsets can be controlled. Investment in knowledge can be controlled. Coaching education. When we keep bringing coaching education and we check the implementation of it, it will take us further. Because if we don't provide solutions that can solve the problem at our level, there are things that we can propose at this level. Okay, now there are things that can only be improved. Let's say infrastructure now. There are a lot of grassroots players. They've never played in main bowls of some big stadiums in Nigeria. Exposure is powerful. There are type of friendly match people play at this level. It can never develop a player. It cannot. It cannot. The best way to test the weapon of your player is to play against a quality opposition. That is when you can learn. But when you are glued to I'm the best, there are things you should not be. You can appreciate your player at this level, but don't let them feel like this. Some players they'll be like, even if I don't come to training, I will play.
They will call me.
They will call me. Coach will call me. When we begin to beg players, and we are in that era now, coaches begging players to come and play. What type of monsters do you want to create in the future? So change of mindset is important. Orientation, we have to change that. The second thing is that what? Quality coaching education, investment in knowledge. You can't give what you don't have. Another thing I think we can control is that infrastructure level, the type of pitches we organize our tournament. And at this level, we should focus on a league phase structure, not tournament. When you play a knockout game, after the game, what next? But when you have a structure that a player knows that we can play 10 matches within a year, and you have the answer that even if you don't win, most of the things when you organize a league phase tournament at this level, players play week in, week, and they know that what do we do wrong the last time? But when you play a tournament and you are out,
if only a coach will be able to walk.
Exactly. So intentions is important. So change of mindset, coaching development, quality infrastructure at this level, all those things. And we have to create a linkage between the parents, the coaches, and the player. You cannot be teaching a kid something on the field and when they go back home, they will be doing another thing entirely. How many players at this level as a ball at home? How many? How many players will go back home and reflect on what did I do wrong today? As a midfielder, how many accurate passes did I make today? As an attacker, funny enough, let me burst your bubble. The truth of the matter is there are things that if a scout just want to look at a player at this level, they'll be like, do you understand position? Can you be at the right place at the right time? What is your technical level? Can you control the ball? Can you pass the ball? Can you jab the ball? Can you play under pressure? And we can always create a game scenario in training that will develop all these technical skills. So once we invest in quality infrastructure, it will level up. We can't be at the level of Europe now.
No.
But that's why I said we should provide solutions that can work in our environment, and we can propose it for other nationality within the context of Africa. Because this continent is blessed with a lot of talented players. But if we don't do it right at the grassroots level, and another thing that we can do is that coaches should not see players as opportunists. It's a major problem. You can see somebody scrolling around their environment and be like, can I see the next Osimhen here? That's why I said intention is important. And once they see that Osimhen now, they will not say, what did Osimhen do to get to this level? So once we do the right thing the right way, the result will just be a what? I always tell people, if you want a particular result, follow the right process. The result through the right process, you can get the equivalent result. If you are doing the right thing the right way. Okay, now if we check the Brazilian market now, a Brazilian player will never go for free. They will never do a free transfer for a Brazilian player. It's not possible. You have to pay a particular amount. That's why you can't compare an African player with somebody coming from South America. How many competitive youth league do we have in the country? Even at our level, we can create that. And when you begin to bring all these things to the table, players know that development is key. The message you preach at the training section shows what the type of coach you are. That's why I said, no matter the solution we provide, if we don't change our mindset as a coach, we are going nowhere. So we should change our system from all this knockout. We can be playing knockout once in a while, but we need a league format that will develop our players. And, and we have to check that all this playing 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. No. You can't test the level of a team. Some teams will do that thing intentionally by coming late for matches. Just to waste time.
It has occurred several times.
They will do that intentionally. Then how will you test your weapon?
Even sometimes you get to the field where you're supposed to be warming up, they sit down. And by the time the game should start, they start warming up. Then the coach will start talking again. So, guys, that's Coach Gabby. And like I said, our intention is to keep preaching the right messages to the grassroots level football players. We believe in the talent in the country, but we also feel like developing is not what we are doing presently in our country. And just like you said, it's almost in other parts of the continent. But we believe there can be changes. Someone once asked me that, why do I think we can't win the World Cup in this continent? And I answered in a simple way, grassroots level. Because people that will win the next World Cup are being built now, and we are not building anything. So till we see in the next one, keep doing great, keep believing in yourself, and most importantly, keep training. And to all the coaches, change the mentality. Let's get better. God bless you guys. And Coach Gabriel, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. And hopefully we call you and you will show up again.
No problem.
Thank you. God bless you. See you in the next one, guys.